Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for clicking on the video. My means off. You guys keep looking, I'll keep making it. Today we're talking 42 casts. So I'm going to go through all of these people from season 42, or at least the leaked cast of season 42. We know all of their jobs, we know who they are, we know things about them that they don't even know. We have stalked these people, and by we I mean me. Over the past 48 hours, I've done a lot of research on who these people are and what they're about. So what I want to do is go through every single person. This video will cover the first tribe, which is the Vati Tribe, which will wear the color green. And we're going to go through the 6 people from this tribe. And then the second video will go through I believe it's the Taku tribe, and then the third will go through the Ika tribe. So we're just going to go through this whole cast and talk about every single person, who I think that they're best compared to, how I think they'll do in the game, and at the end, I just want to play out the tribe dynamics and tell you what I feel like could happen and who could align with who. But first, this is my first video that I'm recording after I hit 1,000 subs. That's a crazy number, guys. Thank you for the continuous support. None of this happens without you guys. If you are watching and you're not sub. We have a great time over here. We make daily content. Nobody else does it except us. Thank you, Skylander, for making my thumbnails. And 70% of you guys who are watching these videos are not subscribed. Let's change that. It's easy and it's free. And if that's so, let's get right into this 42 cast. So as I said earlier, the Vati Tribe, which will wear like kind of a tealish color, has 6 members. First member is Chanel Howell. Second is Jenny Kim. Third is Lydia Meredith. Fourth is Daniel Strunk. Fifth is Jiang. I think that's how you're supposed to say his name. And then the 6th is Mike Turner. And so the first person that I want to talk about is Chanel Howell. So Chanel is a recruiter, meaning an army recruiter. And my mom actually had this job for a while, so I know a thing or two about it. Basically, when you want to join the army, you take a test that's similar to if you have taken like the SBAC test, or like kind of like an SAT sort of test, where it basically just tests if you have any common sense. Because I scored a very high score on it at like 8 years old when I was in my mom's office, just kind of like fooling around with the test. So I can't imagine anyone who wouldn't be able to pass that test as a grown adult. But basically, you facilitate that. You also help them get into the right job, figure out exactly what job they want to do. Also, if you have skittish parents who are like, I don't know, about the military, like that's not for like my son, you deal with those parents. It's basically a job in which you're really talking to a lot of people and you're very social. And so I do think that this could help her in the game. Now, taking a peek at her Instagram here, immediately, very, very interesting photos that we have. I'm using the word interesting because, wow. Yeah, ooh, she is, as I like to say, TV pretty. Like, she is TV ready. She is a TV ready person. She is eye-popping is probably the better word, the better phrase there. She obviously is being cast not only for her strong personality and her job that is very good for Survivor, but on top of that, she seems to be like very, very good looking. So they probably also casted her for that as well. So she kind of checks all of the boxes of Survivor women casting. And so I think she was obviously like a shoe-in for this cast. And I think she might actually be my winner pick, which is funny because she's the first person that we're ever going to talk about. But I am the most confident on her just based off her job and knowing what my mom had to do for recruiting and how social of a job that is. And so I am confident in her ability to be able to relate to people and make relationships and just overall communicate her feelings in a way better than people like a Shan this season. As far as the best comparison that I can think of from past seasons, I'm thinking there's not really many. I would lean maybe like a Lauren Ashley Beck, because Lauren was also very social, but I'm leaning more Missy because I feel like Lauren was a little bit more passive as far as like playing the game and blindside this and blindside that. She also didn't really have to be that aggressive, whereas Missy did, because she was playing from a spot in which she was a big target right out of the merge. And I feel like I have a feeling that Chanel is going to be in that spot at the merge where she's going to have to play super aggressive. So I'm seeing a Missy from season 39 vibes coming from Chanel. Obviously, she seems like a very strong personality and someone who could do very well in the game. And I do not think that she is by any means fitting into this GOAT category or a bad character category. And honestly, I could see her being a hero edit on the show or a villain edit. I definitely don't think that she'll ever be a purple edit because she just seems like such a big personality that how can you pass up on her as a cast member? Whereas in someone like Heather may not have the best personality, Chanel will definitely be on our screens a lot. Next person is Jenny Kim. So I really can't find her socials. And by socials, I mean like Instagram, Twitter, things like that. I think I might have found her. So I'll put some pictures on the screen of what I think could be her. And I believe her dog, I think it's her and her dog in these pictures that I found. But she seems to be more of a private person on the internet, not as like, oh, I'm going to post this and post that. And so I don't think that she's very outgoing. I feel like she's more of an introverted person, which isn't very good for the game overall. She is a designer. That's her job. And so she's very creative, which could be good in a certain way, because sometimes you have to think out of the box when it comes to making moves in the game. I also found what I think is her designer like company's website. They seem to be like very interesting photos, very out of the box, like new type of designer things. There were other photos that I can't show you because they had booties out and swinging and danglanging. But I think overall she seems to be a very progressive person, not really politically, but more like how she like lives her life. Like she's an older person, so you may think like, oh, she's a very conservative thinking person, but she seems to me more of a very like progressive thinking person, and very like what's new, what's interesting, what's shocking, not like, oh, like do it the old fashioned way like a lot of 40 plus people are. And I sort of have this vibe from her that she could either be a complete dud where no one cares about her, like a complete purple edit, or she could be like this crazy character, because she seems like by like her pictures and her vibes from the pictures, and also her job, to be a very odd person, like very odd, like very different. So I do think that they could have cast her as like a Debbie, like sort of like wild card cast, like a coach type of personality. And if that's so, then we could see like a Nora type of person, which could be fun just to watch, because we really don't get those people very often when we watch Survivor nowadays. Like it's all game bots now, and so it may be kind of a refreshing feel for her, where she's like this really kooky personality. But she does seem like she has a lot of life experience. I couldn't really think of a comparison, but as far as Janet, like Janet had a lot of life experience, and that helped her navigate the game and have conversations with plenty of people from different backgrounds and different beliefs. And so maybe she'll be in a spot in which she can really relate to a lot of people, because she's so open and because she's so experienced in life. And so maybe she'll like have that wiseness that Janet obviously showed in 39. But we'll just have to see. I don't know. Next person we have is Lydia Meredith. This is the craziest person so far, just right off the bat from her in Instagram photos. And again, the pictures that I'm showing you now are not even close to how crazy it gets. Most of them I can't show on my channel, or else this video would get taken down. But essentially, she's an actor, so that she definitely has a big personality and definitely has the ability to play a role, and also kind of come up with stories and play a part that isn't necessarily true or genuine. And so that's always good, because you have to be able to tell stories and act things out when you're not actually telling the truth in the game. And so I think that's good for her. She seems to have a very kooky personality, like very eccentric. She seems to be like undoubtedly herself. Like she's very comfortable with who she is. She really doesn't seem like a person who's like always worried about what other people think. She seems like she's gotten past that point in life, which is pretty cool for a 22-year-old. Most 22-year-old girls are like, oh, but I don't look, oh, I'm not. Like she seems very confident in who she is, and like she's figured out who she is, which is good, because you don't want to go on Survivor and try and figure out who you are while you're out there. That should be something that you figure out way before you go out on Survivor. It's very rare that you have like this I'm discovering who I am arc on Survivor and then you win the game. We really don't see growth arcs win on modern day Survivor, especially. But overall, she seems like a fun person to be around, like just a cool friend to have. Like I would really want to like meet this girl, because she seems insane in like a very genuinely good way. Like I'm not dissing her or anything. But she does seem like she could be a very like weird personality, maybe kind of dislikable at times, but like in the end of the day, like she's harmless. Like she's not like some terrible person. I hope she's doesn't say that her pet peeves are hating men in her pregame press, so we don't have to cook her up. And also on top of that, one more observation: it seems like she's in her partying phase by a lot of her Instagram photos that I can't show you. Like she seems to be like in that fresh out of college, or like in the senior year of college partying phase, in which she's always hanging out with friends, always partying, always having tons of fun. And good for her, because these are like the last years where you really get those crazy parties. And so she seems to be in that phase of her life. My comparison for her is Wendy from 38, not because Wendy's some sort of like crazy party lady, but just because Wendy's such an eccentric and like she does not care what you think. She will continue to be herself type of personality. And it seems to be what Lydia is in her day-to-day life. Like she is unshamefully herself. And that seems to be very, very similar to how Wendy is like herself. She will not change for anybody, and that's just how she is. I don't know if that's a good thing for the game, but it's definitely a good thing TV-wise for sure. Next person we have is Daniel Strunk. He's a law clerk. I can't say I know what that job is. I'll probably look it up. I'll look it up right now. What is a law? I'm going to look it up live on the video. Wow, this is so planned, guys. I'm so prepared for my own videos. A law clerk is typically the broad range of duties assigned to a law clerk includes conducting legal research and preparing branch memos, drafting orders and opinions, proof. So basically making sure a court case goes smoothly, which seems like a pretty I don't see that really helping you like overall when you're trying to play Survivor. Like you read documents all day, like that doesn't seem like a pretty like, oh my god, like that's perfect for Survivor. Like for an example, Chanel's job, a recruiter in which she's dealing with all of these people to, in the end, get her job done, which is to get people in the military. And so it seems to me like this job isn't necessarily the best for Survivor, but he seems overall like a person in which I have no problem with his personality. He seems like such a sweet guy. Like I don't think this guy has killed a man in his entire life. He seems so nice and so genuine, and that's pretty rare nowadays with everybody trying to like be like the next Russell Hanson or whatever. That it seems like it's so rare to find people who are just genuinely nice people on Survivor, because everyone's backstabbing and everyone's trying to game so hard. And so I think Daniel, like, just look at his smile. You cannot tell me that guy isn't a genuinely nice person. And I think that's a nice breath of fresh air with all of the game biasness, which personally I actually like. I know everybody hates like all the game biasness, but I actually like the whole game players, like only super fan casting. One, because I'm a super fan, so I can relate to that person more, and two, I like the game being a lot more complicated, whereas in seasons where it's not super fans. For an example, like a season like Worlds Apart, where it's like a lot of Joes and Haleys and Sierras, like I don't know, I'm just not a fan. Whereas in seasons where there's super fans, even when really bad things happen, for example, in this season with really bad twists, everybody came to play, and so it's kind of saving the season and keeping it in at least like the top half of seasons. I feel like when you have a cast that comes to play, you automatically have a cast that is ready to make a good season. And I think Daniel came to play, but he's also kind of like, he probably has like this internal struggle between, hey, do I lie to this person, or do I like, is that wrong to do? So, I mean, we don't really see that like a lot nowadays, because everybody's like, nah, I'm coming here to be the villain. I don't care, this and that. But maybe we'll see something different this season from Daniel. I could not find any of his socials, so I don't have any pictures of him except for his original picture, unless I do, unless I found one. I kind of forget. But so he seems to be like a very closed off person as far as like putting himself out there on social media. But he just seems like a really nice, down to earth guy who you like could sit down and just talk to, and he would never say a mean thing to you ever in his entire life. And that's pretty cool. I think that's good casting, to cast someone who the average casual viewer can just say, that dude is just like me. Like, he's just normal in an array of crazy people like Lydia and maybe like Jenny, and all of these people coming up that get even more crazier. Trust me, this next tribe that we're doing tomorrow is insane. And so I feel like in a season full of those people, to have one normal person is almost perfect because it allows the viewers to empathize with one person who is like down to earth, while the rest of these people are just absolutely insane. Kind of like in Exile Island, where it's like the Kasaya crazies and Shane and Courtney and Danielle and all those crazy people, and then there's like Suri, normal person. You know what I mean? My best comparison, just looking at his picture and how he may play the game, is someone like a Rafe. Very caring, very kind. He's gonna try to avoid blindsiding at all times, but he'll like be fine playing the game. But if he has to like emotionally confront how much he really is lying, it may cause him to be like, I don't know. Like, for an example, Rafe didn't like that he was keeping Danny stuck in a deal that she was forced to stay in at the final two. So he was nice enough to say, okay, like our deal's off. You like can just pick based off who you want to take to the end with me and Stephanie. And overall, his smile. I mean, like, come on, that is Rafe's son all day long. You cannot tell me that he is not Rafe from season 11. This next guy, I think his name is pronounced Jiang. That's what I'm going to say. If it's not, I sincerely apologize. Hi, if you're watching this, I'm sorry. I'm probably going to butcher your name for the next like 7 months until we actually see you on TV. So we have Jiang. Jiang is a analytics director. And I think overall, immediately I look at him and I'm thinking he's a shoo-in for a fan favorite. He seems like a really likable dude who's also going to play the game very, very well. I think he'll have no moral dilemmas like Daniel may have. I feel like he is going to go in to play the game, but he's also going to be like the guy who everyone likes so much, and but at the same time he's not so likable to the point where he's like a Christian who everybody loves. I feel like he's in that median where he's just likable enough. He lives in New Orleans, and in his bio, he seems to be a person who is very, very pro the environment. So his bio says, quote, bio plant-based optimist on a mission to pet as many dogs as I can. I feel like overall he seems like a shoo-in for a fan favorite. I really don't see him not at least being a likable person. I doubt that they'll make him a villain. I don't see that happening. He's super sweet and overall super positive person. And on top of that, although being super pro-environment, I don't see any political stuff in his entire social media, which is a positive. I'm hoping for a less political season next season. And so he just seems like an overall nice guy who anybody from any background with any beliefs can really enjoy like watching and rooting for overall. And the last person is, I think, honestly, my person that I'm most looking forward to seeing on TV, and that's Mike Turner. Mike Turner is an absolute legend. I already love this guy, and I haven't heard his voice. Okay, Mike Turner is a retired firefighter. So first of all, thank you for your service to fighting all those fires off. I mean, I could never. I probably can't pick up the hose, let alone go into a burning building. So that's awesome on top of that. And then on top of that, he's recently married. As of recording this, like a few days ago, he got married. I think it's like a week ago. And so this is obviously after the season had aired. And so maybe he's our winner because his wedding looked very like fun and expensive, and he has a pool, and he was like jumping in the pool with his suit on and with his wife in his arms. Like, he seems like he's just on top of the world right now. He's also kind of new to social media. He actually created a social media right after he got back from filming. And so I don't know. I like Mike as like a character. Overall, Mike seems like such a fun person who we honestly like look at him and we're like, dude, Mike is so cool. And he's also like just a chill dude among a lot of non-chill people. I think we're again going to get a repeat of all of the political nonsense in this next season. I feel like Mike will be a nice break from that, where Mike will not get political, hopefully. And he just seems like an overall super cool dude. He's obviously so he's recently married, but he has kids, I believe, from a past marriage. And so he's obviously remarried, which is good for him. Here's a picture of him and his daughter. So he's obviously like a great father. He's a great husband. He's overall a great dude. He has tons of happy marriage posts as well, in which he's just like overall living the life. He seems like he could be a chill guy. And then switch it and be super intense at the same time. Look at this picture of him eating pizza and tell me that he's not an absolutely intense dude. And I actually like that, because I feel like a lot of our vote offs are so like, oh, like great move, guys, and not like, what, guys, like, did you just blindside me? I'm so mad at you. So maybe we can get a cool blindside reaction out of Mike Turner. I really like this addition to the cast. And I don't know, I feel like overall he's gonna bring something to the season, whether he's the first boot, the runner-up, the winner, the merge boot. I don't care. I just love this guy. I'm worried for him socially on this tribe, and that's a great way to pivot into how I feel like this tribe is going to be aligning together. So I think that Daniel and Ty are probably going to align together. I think they just have similar personalities. They're both very positive guys. I feel like Ty will be the more strategical one out of the two, whereas Daniel will be a bit more passive. And I think that'll work, because it's not like a Ricard and Sham where they both want to be like that cutthroat mastermind. I feel like Daniel will be fine taking a number 2 spot, like back seat to Ty in his alliance, and so I see them two getting together. On top of that, I see maybe Chanel and Lydia pair up. I don't know. I'm just looking at them. They're both 20-something females, and so immediately they combine over that demographic similarity, between them. They also both seem like strong personalities, which is always good. Now, strong personalities either mesh really well together, but like for an example, a Tony and a Sarah, or they mesh terribly together, like Chris Noble and a Dom. So it's like you never know what you're getting with very, very strong personalities meshing together. But I do feel like overall that we're going to see probably Chanel and Lydia pair up, just based off their demographics being similar. Obviously, they're different people with their jobs and just who they are as people, but I do feel like they could align together. I don't really see Jenny having that many social bonds, although I do think that Jenny could possibly bond with Ty over just overall, like, coming from both coming from Asian backgrounds, which could help them bond immediately. And so maybe there's a Ty plus Daniel plus Jenny alliance, and then from there we could see the Chanel and Lydia cohort, and then that leaves Mike on the outs. And I feel like you could get a Mike first boot, because Mike just seems like the type of dude who's really, really cool dude with his friends of like 20 years. But with new people, I feel like Mike is done trying to be like make new friends. I feel like when you get to a certain age, you're like, just get done trying to like branch out, and like you are who you are. Sometimes when you get older, you can kind of get stuck in your own bubble. And so I think Mike could fall into that trap. Although I'm hoping that Mike doesn't flame out, and that he is able to bond with maybe Daniel and not Ty, but Hai. And then maybe from there, we could see a guys versus girls thing, or maybe Mike, Daniel, Hai, and Jenny versus the two 20-something girls. So I don't know. I mean, there's so many possibilities on this tribe. I think this is probably the best tribe, although I think the next tribe is pretty crazy as well. I think the next tribe, honestly, is one of the crazier tribes that I've ever seen on Survivor, which we'll be talking about tomorrow. If you're watching this on Monday, then this will be coming out Tuesday the 23rd, actually. And so, yeah, I mean, tomorrow's video will be on the Taku tribe. And overall, I feel like this season has not the best cast. I think it's better than like a Ghost Island cast, and I think it's better than like a Worlds Apart cast, like a lot of the older casts. I don't think it's anywhere near the level of 41's cast, which is kind of disappointing that 41 couldn't be like a top 5 season, because it definitely has a top 5 at least newbie cast for sure. I feel like overall, like 41's cast had so much potential, and it's doing good, but I feel like production kind of ruined that season for the cast. Hopefully 42 production kind of lets their hands off and just only does minimal twists, or only does twists that aren't gonna like absolutely break the game open or cause tribes that lose challenges to win challenges. But then again, you literally just never know nowadays in Survivor. So I do feel like overall that this season has potential as an overall season. I do think that this season has some very, very like almost guaranteed duds. Like, I'm looking at some of the cast members, and some of these people are guaranteed to be duds. I think that unless there's some miracle, we're gonna have like 3 or 4 duds here. And really, this cast's only chance of being a really good cast is to be very top heavy, which isn't the best thing in the world, but it's better than not being anything heavy, and then you just have like no good cast members. So part 2 tomorrow, coming out with the Taku Tribe. I'll put their faces up on the screen right now so you can get a sneak peek as well. We'll have tons of fun with them. Again, guys, 1,000 subscribers. That's crazy. 2,000 question mark? Like, look, come on. I mean, I think that we can get there in the next, I don't know, maybe at the premiere of season 42, I feel like we could get to 3,000 subs. I feel like that's a pretty good goal, so let's get there. I'm thinking of maybe starting a Patreon, maybe at the start of 42, maybe a bit earlier. Who knows? If you would ever subscribe to that or follow that or whatever the word is for that, even if it's like $1 a month for early videos or exclusive series, or maybe I'll go even deeper into this 42 cast only on there for the exclusive members. Let me know in the comments what you guys think about that idea. And yeah, overall, I'll just continue to make this awesome content for you guys. Daily content. Wednesday's post-game show. And I'll talk to you guys in the next one. Peace.